The Legend of Zelda has a long history of unique boss fights, each encounter surprising players with a satisfying and innovative experience. Honestly, narrowing down the best that the series has to offer was rather difficult, but I truly think these are the 10 best bosses in not only Zelda, but gaming as a whole. Let me know if you agree with this list or not in the comments down below. Now let's get started with number 10. Talus from Skyward Sword. A lot of people give this guy flack on account of its Monsters Inc. looking ass, but I think it has a lot of great things going for it. Right off the bat, you have to make your way out of a sinking pirate ship, which is one of the coolest sequences in the entire series. I don't think any other boss has an introduction that tops this. This is also one of the only bosses in the game that requires you to use your Skyward Strike. You know, the attack that shares its name with the game. Something about that has always made this boss seem more significant to me. But something that sets it apart from the rest of the bosses in the series is that its main weak point is its giant eye. It's unique, it's fun, and it squeezed its way into my top 10. Number 9. Goma from Ocarina of Time. As a giant ice spider, Goma has a lot going for it in terms of cool design. It's also the first 3D Zelda boss ever and immediately makes good use of the added dimension by spending its time on the ceiling. Sadly, the only thing keeping it from placing higher on this list is the fact that you fight it with a slingshot instead of a bow. Number 8. Armo Goma from Twilight Princess. Okay, you might think it's dumb for me to put two Gomas back to back on this list, but hear me out. The way this particular version of Goma looks is so badass. It's everything I love about the Ocarina of Time Goma amplified to 11, not to mention how satisfying it is to squish it beneath the statue's fist. Plus, this time you get to use the bow to shoot an arrow into its eye. Number 7. Vati from the Minish Cap. I love Vati because he's a refreshing break from Ganondorf always being the main villain. What's even better is that he's a giant eye. Number 6. Goma from Link's Awakening. What can be said about this Goma that hasn't already been said about the other ones? There are 2 of them. I know this is technically just a mini boss, but it's better than most main bosses. Number 4. Goma from Ocarina of Time 3D. As a giant eye, Goma has a lot going for it in terms of cool eye. It's also the first 3D Zelda eye ever and immediately makes good use of the added eye by spending its eye on the eye. Sadly, the only eye keeping it from placing higher on this eye is the eye that you fight eye with an eye instead of an eye. Goma 3. Big, meaty claws. Number 2. Goma from Four Swords Goma Adventure. 4 arrows, 3 eyes. And finally, the best Zelda boss of all time, Ganon. The one where you shoot an arrow in his eye. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. And now for an old proverb that's been passed down through my family for generations. A young boy approached his father one day. He said, "Dad, this is it. You tell me what your favorite Zelda boss is, or I'm leaving." Well, his dad grabbed him by the shoulder, looked him straight in the eye, and said, "Go, my son." The boy left.